So this is what we got. You can see it right there. That's the middle, and the whole pieces right now in front are 5 pieces, and they are all flays. And you can see this is the new point. Okay, I've not joined this, but if I join this, you got the idea what this is supposed to look like. And you can see this is like the whole flays. All right, and we have not really joined them, but when we join them, you know that this thing is going to be amazing. All right, so this whole thing is just um a thing I'm using to help beginners in a fashion community. Okay, so I'm not really trying to be professional with this. So I hope you guys can find this whole thing useful. If it's not okay, you don't understand what you're watching, you can always watch the video over and over and practice. And as you continue, you're going to be good very soon. Thank you very much. Hello guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. And this is how I want to cut a 5 pieces front skirt. And I want us to start with the basics of 6 pieces. Okay, because there's an insertion in front, you can see the picture right there, the curve section. So I want to start with 6 pieces basics, and you guys are going to see how the drafting comes to life. Okay, let's get started with this. You know, this material already have a pattern. I put up the 10 pieces blouse video on YouTube like a week ago or so. So today I want to cut the skirt, and I also want this particular pattern to be in front of it. So I'm just gonna fold it. All right, so we start by first of all drafting the 6 pieces pattern. We start with it, and we're going to start from the center of the skirt at the front side. Okay, even if I want to cut 6 pieces, I can start from the side or the center, but this particular one we're starting from the center. So you can see the measurement right there. You see the hip is 46, okay, and the skirt length is 44, and the waist right there, well, you see the waist there is 38, 39. So first, this is how we start. We first of all find a way to mark out the skirt. As you want to mark out the skirt, you're going to extend your tape out by 1 inch up here. That's for the waistband. All right, then you place it. All right, this whole video might not cover up, but you mark the skirt length, okay, plus ½ inch allowance extra. All right, then we come here and mark the, from here, you know, you've already extend out 1 inch. Okay, so since you have extended out 1 inch at the waist area, so for someone of length 44, you're going to mark like 19 or 18 here, which is the knee length. All right, you're going to come up here 9 inches, and you mark the hip. All right, so now that you're finished marking the hip, you're going to turn the tape whatever you want the wideness of the center to be. For example, I want to put this at 7, so I'm going to mark 3.5. You mark 3.5 here, you bring it to this place also, you mark 3.5, and also the waist area 3.5. Okay, when you're done marking that, you place a ruler and connect the whole mark from the knee. Okay, so this is what you have right now. And also the downside of the skirt, whatever kind of wideness you want it to be, how wide you want it to be, depending on how many yards of material you've got, and also how full you want the flay to become after you finish sewing it. But since this is going to be like 5 pieces in front, I will not make it too full, so I'll just like, maybe I can make the wideness of the downside like maybe 22 or even 20. That is 10 inches. All right, so I mark the 10 inches there. Then you're going to place the ruler from this knee length here, okay, to that wideness of that place. Then you're still gonna draw a straight slant line again going down. Okay, so this is the basics. Now if you want to cut a 6 pieces skirt, this is how you go about it. All right, first, now the thing we do is we're going to cut this out. All right, if it's 6 pieces, now we're going to cut it out, but since it's not 6 pieces, you already see what the style is right there. So we're going to have to curve this place out in order for our next insertion to fit in. All right, we curve this place out so that it won't be straight. From the knee area here, you curve it out, and right now we can cut this place out. You see this place now might look like it's hip. It's not hip. If you look at the picture there, there's an insertion, a black material around it, and this is how you have to, this is the idea you have to use to cut the middle first before you can be able to cut the next part. All right, so you cut. So just like we have this right now, you can see this is the black, the next black that is coming on top of it. Okay, and I'm gonna have lace on top of the black. Okay, the first thing you need to know is the idea is just like you are still cutting pieces skirt. So we're going to place this here. Okay, remember we mark this line for the nail. Okay, this is the nail, and also this is for the hip, we mark the other time. So we're going to turn it right now straight, and you can see the whole line, they are still on the same lane. So right here, right now, this is what we're going to do. All right, we're going to bring this up here straight to this place, then we stop at this point, the new point. Right, we're going to bring it from here, from the downside straight at the new point. This time we're not going to be needing the ruler because we have already marked this place, so we're using this place now to cut the flare side. So then you turn it again. All right, as you turn it, you make sure this main material is on this chalk line. All right, this is what we do now. We have this. Okay, so since this is a lecture, I just have to be brief with it. Then you're going to trace this side. I have to be brief with it because if this is a normal sewing, I might not follow this pattern. I just decide to do something else, but this is just a kind of a lecture to help people, so I have to follow a basic tools to help. So now that you are done with this, you see what you have here right now. Okay, it fits this place. This is how you're going to join it. When you're joining it later, this is how it's going to come. All right, this is how it's going to come. Then right now, if you want to cut out this black, you have to add like half inches to it by the time you're cutting. So whatever wideness you want the place to be, it's not going to be too wide. Let's just say we're looking at 2.5 inches. All right, here we go, 2.5 inches or 3 inches. All right, you follow the same measurement. Make sure you measure that same 2.5 inches. You know, since I'm just a professional in this, I can just use my eye to gauge things. But if you know you want to do this, you're a beginner, you need to use a tape to gauge it. Okay, so this is what you do right now, and when you get to this particular place, you shift this ankara back to that side. All right, you're going to use it to cut, to mark here also. Okay, so this is what you get now. If you don't want this whole place to be too wide as this, you can always reduce it. All right, and as I'm cutting right now, I might just decide to reduce it so you see what it's like, because personally for me, I would not want this to be as wide as this, but for you, if you want it to be very full, you're going to need to use this particular ankara as your basics, this same angle to cut it. You know, when I was cutting the blouse, if you watch the blouse video, and if you have not, you want to watch how I cut the 10 pieces blouse video, you can follow the link below to go to that particular video. This is the same idea I used to cut the blouse. Maybe this one might even help you easily to understand how the cutting of the blouse come to life. Okay, so right now I'm going to cut out this particular part, and I'm still going to use this same particular part to cut the last ending of the skirt. Okay, so here we go. Just like I tell you, I will not want my own to be as wide as this. So since I don't want it to be as wide as this, I will not want to temper with this side. All right, I'm not going to reduce it from this side because I don't want it to be this wider. If I want to reduce the wideness of this, I'm going to have to reduce it from this side. So from here, if you know you cannot cut it straight, there's nothing wrong with that. You can still equally use a ruler to to slant out the part that you don't want to see. So this is how wide I want mine to be, not too much, just normal. So you can see the curve right here. The curve stop immediately, just like 1 inch around the new area, and you can see it right there. And this particular one is definitely going to fit right now when I want to sew this. You can see it right there. Okay, so the next one now is going to be an ankara material, and I'm using this particular black to cut the last part of it before I get the hip measurement all together. Okay, all right, so you need to understand this. It's very, very important. When you want to cut pieces blouse or pieces skirt, you need to learn that you have to manipulate the material by turning things around. Okay, so I want to cut the last part of the skirt right now, and if you can see, this is the middle, this is the middle of the front, and this is where I remove it from. Okay, this is the space where I remove the middle from. So right now, if you want to cut any other pieces, the next pieces you're going to cut, you have to understand that you have to turn it the other way around. Okay, why? Because this place now is now wider and this place is smaller, so we are taking the smaller side of the first one we cut to the small side, while we take this wider part, we turn it over to the wide side in order for you to be able to manage the material, unless you have enough material to waste. Okay, if I want to use this first part of the skirt to cut the last part of the skirt now, I can do that, but I'm not going to be able to do it because it's the same material. So we're going to bring the black into it and use the black to cut the last part of the skirt. So here we go. Okay, so right now we know this is the last side of the skirt, right? And definitely we're going to need, this is like, we want something that will complete this black one right now. All right, we need something to complete the black right now. This is what we're going to do. The first thing you need to do, you're going to mark out that new length again. Okay, we mark the new length here. This is the new line. This is still the hip line continuously. Okay, so what we're going to do right now, we need this particular one to flay out like this. Okay, so we're going to use this side here to shape this very close, and we mark this place out. All right, this is what we mark. We just mark this. Okay, and this is from the new. So from this side, you're going to shift the black to this place again. We shift it to this side, and if you want that side of it to be more wider than the black right now, because it has to be, right? It has to be. So if you want to do that, you know you're not going to be able to do it with a straight hand. You can still equally use a ruler to do it. Okay, don't try to be a professional by just using your head. You can use a ruler to do that, and you can see the line that's coming right here now. Okay, I know maybe this might not enter the video, but let me shift it up. Okay, so we're done with that, and this is what we get right now. So when we join this part, when we start joining the hip to this last part, this is how this one will come. the last part of it is coming straight here. So the last thing we need to do now is to get the hip measurement. All right, in order for us to get the hip measurement right now, okay, we're going to cut out this part. So here we are. Okay, this is the last part of the skirt, and we're going to bring the front back to it. So this is the front part. Okay, you can still see that our whole lines, okay, the whole lines are still working together in these pieces. Okay, this same new line, the new level, the line are still working together. Even the hip, they're still all together. So now if we want to mark the hip measurement, now that we have brought all this whole front together, now this is the middle, this is the second verse, and this is the last one. So we're going to mark the hip measurement right now. The hip measurement is 46. We're now marking 46 exactly. We can leave the measurement at 44. Why? Because they're going to be a puff at the back of the skirt. So for there to be a puff at the back of the skirt is part of the measurement. So for the fact that there is puff at the back, you have to reduce that 2 inches from the side of the hip so that the hip will not puff out. So right here, this is the 44. That is 11 times 4. Okay, the whole front now, 11 plus 11 will be 22. Then 22 plus 22 is 44. So we mark the 44 right there at the hip line, and right here on the waist is 38, but we're gonna leave this at just say 39. All right, we'll mark the 39 or 38 better. Then you connect this line. Okay, you're starting to define the hip right now. You connect this line, then you come to the nail area. Depending on how the person want the nail to be tight, you know, most people love to walk in the high heel, not that like majestically and very simple, but most people just love to be free. So if you're working for someone who really wants a mermaid skirt, you're gonna make the hip, since the here is 44, you can as well make here 18. But if it's someone who wants to work freely, you can take it to 19. That is 9.5. So I want to make this free, and I'll just connect the hip right now, and this is what I do here. And right here, from here, you're going to use a ruler to create the last flay. All right, so here we go. Then you add an allowance right now. You add an allowance to this. And this is like the whole skirt right now. Okay, you have the whole front pieces into 5 places. Okay, so all that is left now is just to cut the whole front. Okay, so the whole front is complete right now. Okay, you can see that from the hip area, this is the middle one, and you have this 1 2, that is 3 pieces. Then you have these 4 5, that is 5 pieces in front. So when you go to the back now, you can just make the back whatever amount of pieces you want to make it. Even if it's not up to 5, you can make it 4 pieces, you know, but we just want the design to come to the front. Okay.